Right. What is the plan for this week?
I don't know. Has anyone written a quiz?
No.
If this is your job, Kristian, you're the one who's writing the quiz.
No, I don't have a chance this week. Maybe next week.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Like, I've done a quiz. I've done 2, actually.
You had a spare quiz lying around. That doesn't count.
Yeah, but that's not the... No, it's still something that I did. Ozzy did a quiz. Where's your
A
quiz?
quiz in the Blue Peter quiz. A quiz in one I made earlier.
Yeah. Here's a quiz I made earlier.
My quiz is on this Word document here titled onlyconnect.docx. I need to do one more sequence and a few more missing vowels and then put it all on a PowerPoint. I'm in exactly the same position I was last week.
You haven't done your homework, is basically what you're trying to say to us.
I've got a good excuse.
I mean, you've had a week to do it.
I've been busy, miss. Oh my God,
we've
you're
all been
such
busy.
a fucking cow.
Wow, okay, to the headmaster's office with you. I will not tolerate that language in this classroom.
I don't care what you fucking think, you cunt.
And with that, you've been expelled. Or suspended at the very worst.
I was hoping it was like Blaze Primary in the bad old days when a kid was naughty, they got sent to the deputy head's office and she couldn't be bothered to deal with them, so she just put them in like her antechamber and they got to play on the PlayStation.
It's not so much like that anymore. They've got a calm base.
Yeah. Home base.
A calm base.
No, that was
Calm base.
it was particularly bad back in the day because of decisions like that by the people in charge, obviously. And they went in special measures and then they ended up with a new head and she turned it around and it's not like that anymore, I don't imagine.
What happens when you get Sparehead 3 in charge?
Exactly. School review there.
Yes, very much so. Right.
Well, I'll tell you what we can do is look up my poll for the last week.
Whip him out then.
Yes. So we had a game of the year 2020.
Oh yeah.
For which the options were Hades, Star Wars Squadrons, Harule Warriors, Age of Calamity, and
Age of Calamity.
What'd you say? I didn't hear. Sorry.
Age of Calamity.
Age of Calamity. Yeah, Age of Halality.
Yeah.
And Animal Crossing New Horizons. Which, by the way, I remembered seeing this thing online earlier, and I looked it up and laughed, where someone like visited someone's island and left Nazi uniforms in their shop. And the first that this person knew about it was that when one of their villagers was wearing like a full SS uniform when they were opening a bridge.
Fuck.
Anyway, Animal Crossing, great game.
Yeah.
So, fourth place with 17% was Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Then with 22%, Animal Crossing New Horizons. And with 22%, Hades.
Oh my God.
Winner, as predicted, with 39%, is Star Wars : Squadrons.
Oh my God.
Here we are. Congratulations, kids. You're now fully grown up and you can fly out of the nest because we live in a Zeppelin, because it's the steampunk world. There we are. So off you go. Off you fly. I just created a little world for us all there. Here we are.
Is that the setting of the Visible Tower lore? Is the steampunk world?
I guess we could have like a pole at the top of the tower for the Hindenburg to crash into or something.
That just feels wrong.
I mean, for the airship to dock at with no problems.
There we go. Thank you.
Sorry, yes. The humanity. You know the guy who said, "Oh, the humanity," fancied himself as a bit of a wordsmith, but he had a reputation for kind of using words that he thought made him sound clever, but it was actually just the wrong word.
Oh, yeah.
So when he says, "Oh, the humanity," the full quote is, "Oh, the humanity and all the people just milling around." So he's using the word humanity to refer to a big group of people. So what he means is, oh, all the people are still milling around, but he says, oh, the humanity all milling around. So there we are. Next time we say the humanity, you can think about that.
Fair enough.
So any other biscuits?
God, we're there already.
Oh God.
This is going to be a short podcast.
I'm trying to think, what news has there been recently? There's got to have been something that news related, game related.
I've got Masterful, but I'm not far into it yet, so I haven't really got much I can say about it.
Master what?
Masterful, the big multi-master story. That Big
Oh,
Finish
right,
did.
okay.
Yeah. It's confusing to times as to who is who. I can tell the young boy master apart because he's got a younger voice. I can tell John Sim apart because he's more hyperactive and more like
It's John Sim.
Are you going to let me destroy the universe?
Fuck off!
Doctor!
I can tell Missy's Missy because she's a woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, the others are blending into each other at times, and I'm finding it hard to pick out which master is what. It's like, particularly Jeffrey Beavis, who's the like decayed master. And,
the Keeper of Traken one.
And Derek Jacobi. They've both got that sort of old man voice, which blends into each other very much, and yeah.
And they say everything in unison, which is really off-putting.
Yeah.
They say everything. For we are legion, for we are many.
Yeah. Story seems interesting so far, but yeah, a bit confusing. Basically, the Johnson Master has won. He's conquered the universe. He's beaten the Doctor, and now he's throwing a party for all his past selves.
Not his future selves, though. Of course, no. That'd be rude.
No, Missy didn't get the invitation, so she comes and gate crashes.
I don't know why I didn't expect that.
Obviously, things go wrong and whatever, and that's kind of where I am at this point.
How many people have actually played the Master, like canonically?
Ooh, in this one,
wasn't so John Sim was Master number 6 because that's an anagram of Mr. Saxon purely by coincidence.
Oh yeah. But like, was that actually? That wasn't actually like the Master's 6th incarnation, was it?
No, that's what I was about to say, because the Master is technically on his secondary generation cycle at this point.
Yes.
What?
If you include Big Finish.
Starting with who?
So, hang on. I'll just search. I'll just go.
I hear furious Googling.
Master TARDIS wiki.
Was that before or after the end of time? Was that include? I'm so confused. Hasn't the Master died like 3 times by this point?
You've got to think that the Keeper of Traken Master was his final incarnation and really clinging to life.
So yeah, the Keeper of Traken one where
has come. That's the last of his first regeneration cycle.
Right, and then he died.
When he
stole a human's body.
Yeah.
Or not a human. He stole Nissa's dad's
body.
And
does that he's not a Time Lord then? So that one just dies presumably eventually.
Eventually, yeah. And then there's like some point that he gets either. I think didn't he say that the Time Lords resurrected me
for the Time War?
Yeah, because there was also the point where he died during. Because like the whole point of the like in the start of the movie, the Doctor is taking the
executed.
Yeah. His remains back.
Yeah.
There's that. Then there's
again steals another human's body.
Yeah. Dies again.
Some point after that, he's died. And picked up by the Time Lords, resurrected, sent to the war as the War Doctor, and away from the war, become human, Became
hides as
Time
Derek
Lord, regenerated
hides-
into Doc Johnson. Yeah.
hides as Derek Jacobi,
Character's
comes
name.
yeah.
back as
Yeah.
John Sim, and then Missy.
That's the War Master. Yeah.
No,
And we
because
have the
he comes
original-
back as Derek Jacobi, turns into John Sim, dies, then comes back again as John Sim.
No, doesn't. Oh yeah, that's right. Of course. So does that start him off again then when he gets resurrected like that, or is
It's
it like
the
the human
third
ones where he's
regeneration
just gonna
cycle.
die?
So when he gets
Shit,
brought back
and
by
then the first incarnation of the Doctor Master has appeared in audiobooks with the first Doctor, played by someone they don't have on staff anymore because he was something. He was a dick in some way. I can't remember what way exactly, but he was being a dick. Much in the vein of J.K. Rowling, just not quite to the extent of J.K. Rowling.
He just rested his dick on top of her vein and like
Yeah,
absorbed some of her powers, but not the good ones.
no,
So that's
the cunters
young
powers, not the
Master
creative
grown
powers.
up. That's one incarnation. Then first regeneration. Oh, so
Because I seem to remember somewhere, I don't know how canon this is, that he spent his entire first regeneration cycle before the Keeper of Traken just committing crimes and not worrying about the death penalty because he'll just revive himself. Is that true?
I haven't heard it, but it's funny.
No. The TARDIS wiki is saying possibly some accounts say that the next incarnation of the Master is the War Chief, who could also be a possibly
Oh yeah.
different incarnation altogether.
I remember
A
hearing
different
that,
Time
yeah.
Lord altogether, yeah. So it's neither confirm nor deny whether he is Master incarnation. I'm going to possibly say no.
I'd probably say
Until
no.
confirmation is us otherwise.
The the TARDIS. I think we've spoken about the TARDIS wiki before on the podcast. Actually, probably like 2 years ago. But like, I really admire their dedication to putting every single bit of information on there. But if you're trying to find like a timeline of something or someone's canonical life, it's just like it's like it drives you mad looking at every page.
Yeah.
Doctor Who doesn't really have
guess
canon and non-canon, does it?
No.
everything is canon until it's not.
Yeah.
And people thought the Star Wars canonicity was confusing.
Oh,
In the Time War.
speaking of Star Wars, just as an aside, whilst we're like absorbing knowledge about the Master, and then we'll come back to it. I finished the third Throne book of the new trilogy, and it ends with him being sent to Lothal or Lothal. I've only ever seen it written down, so I don't know how they pronounce it.
Lothal.
To deal with the rebellion there and to capture Ezra Bridger. So I presume that happens in Rebels. But I do actually know the spoiler for what happens to Thrawn in
Power
Rebels.
Rangers Time Force.
But because so I presume then the book kind of then leads directly into Rebels in that sense. But also it's interesting that the Emperor at that point basically says to Thrawn, go and capture Ezra Bridger and then come back here and we're going to have a very serious talk about your loyalties, because the Emperor's basically just running out of patience with Thrawn because Thrawn's still trying to help the Chiss Ascendancy. So I'm assuming that conversation never happens. But it's an interesting dynamic. Anyway, Star Wars.
So has he been sent to Lothal before this point?
He's only been there like once or twice. Like they cut in the first book of the trilogy. His cross paths. his paths cross with the lady who ends up being the governor of Lothal, Arinda Price.
Oh right, yeah.
But after that, he never goes back. No, not in the books.
Okay, cool. So this is set just before season 3. Cool.
All right. Because I know
So if you don't want to watch the stuff in season 1 and 2, then I would say just watch Twilight of the Apprentice first. At the end of series 2.
I want to watch them all. I was going to start, but I thought I'd give Dark another chance, and it actually has got really good, so I'm finishing that now.
Fair enough. Anyway, Star Wars.
Star Wars. The Master was born in 1953 on Gallifrey, which is in Ireland, I think. And
Oh God, not again.
Somewhere in the 50-something century, according to Susan.
I've just realised.
The year 1953 is.
I've just realised. There's that bit in the episode we don't talk about. the gormless, the timeless children and all that, and Ascension of the Cybermen, where the Doctor's apparent memories are like disguised as someone growing up in Ireland. But then there was that bit in Human Nature where John Smith says he's from Ireland, and the nurse says, "Where's that?" Says he's from Gallifrey, and the nurse says, "Where's that Ireland?" So I wonder if that was a purposeful reference, or whether they just, I don't know, picked Irish because they wanted to.
I think it's like Chibnall saw that and was just like, "Ooh, that could be quite good if it like he thinks he's from Ireland, but actually she's the goddess of the universe."
Chris Chibnall is our guest today on.
Hello, I know how to write Rahoo.
Have you been haunted, Chris, Mr. Chibnall, San? Have you been haunted by the episode "The Brain of Morbius" since you first saw it?
Oh, I don't like that episode. Those episodes.
Brain of Morbius might be bad, however, Terror of the Vorvoids.
Oh man, I still don't understand why somebody who hated Doctor Who at that time has tried to bring it back to Doctor Who at that time.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think he hated it at that time. He was just one of those salty fans who didn't like it not going his way.
Oh God!
So now he's got the chance to make it go his way.
Can you imagine if, like, by some miracle, one of us ends up as showrunner of Doctor Who in the future? There'll be people posting this clip on the internet, like when that clip of Chibnall came out of him criticizing Doctor Who.
Christ.
I would like to point out that this is meant in a comedic way, and I mean, his actions kind of speak for itself. Like, I would say it's meant to be taken as a comedy show, but you know how we are.
I was watching some reviews of the Doctors Who recent ones, and the guy kept on just referring to the 13th Doctor as the Doctor impersonator, which made me.
Do you like how this massive revelation about the Doctor came up so much in the next episode?
Hey, she spoke to Ryan.
That's true, and then she managed a hug.
Hey, did you know that scene of her talking to Ryan was actually added after they filmed all the other scenes? It wasn't in the original script. They kind of felt like they needed to add it in afterwards because they'd neglected to mention it at all. So you are kind of right with what you said.
It's almost like Chibnall doesn't give a shit about continuity. Isn't it?
Oh, little burp there. Excuse me.
It's just.
Anyway, do we know any more about the Master now?
I've been trying to work it out, so I haven't actually paid attention to anything you said for the past 5 minutes, because we've got... So, I'm going to guess that the kid who looked into the tempered schism is Milo something who is playing him in this Masterful box set.
Right.
Because on the cover, it's like a young adult guy in the Time Lord sort of get up from Patrick Troughton's Regeneration.
Yeah, okay.
He's a student of the Time Lords. That's what he looks like.
Now, does he grow up to become Roger Delgado, or is he someone else?
No, I'm thinking he grows up to become James Dreyfus.
Oh, yeah, James Dreyfus.
That's it.
What?
He's the first incarnation of the Master that meets the first Doctor in some audios.
Oh, is he the one that was nasty?
Yeah, that's what I said. He's the one that isn't on staff anymore because he pulled a J.K. Rowling.
That's a shame. I really liked him in Gimme.
I mean, aside from person, he was quite good as the master in that audiobook.
Yeah. I remember seeing the
I
picture of him,
listened to it
actually. He
before all
he
this
looked like the
kicked off.
master. He really looked the part. Oh, well. Shit happens, I guess.
I'm so
At one
confused
point,
right
he
now.
allied himself with the gods of Ragnarok and used a pendant or something.
Infinity Stone.
Yeah, that's it,
As
isn't it?
Koshi?
Oh! I know that name. I definitely know that name.
According to other accounts, however, the doctor. Okay, this might be an alternative account for the origins of the Master, like in books and in prose.
Yes.
Prose, Face of the Enemy. According to other accounts, however, the Doctor's friend had yet to choose the name the Master when he ran away from Gallifrey. Known only by the name Koshi,
Yeah,
he was
that's
a
what I've seen.
medium built he was of medium build with high forehead and swept back hair that was greying at the temples. Neatly trimmed dark beard with streaks of grey at the corners. Although he had an unstable obsession with order, he travelled in an intact TARDIS without any specific plans of conquest, instead taking on a human companion like the Doctor. I'm not going through it all because there's 3 more paragraphs.
Bloody hell.
Apparently, that was another account. But then a first generation regeneration again was in prose. Don't know much about prose. And then it goes into the War Chief, which I don't think is the Master really. And then it goes on to the Third Doctor's Master, which apparently is meant to be the last Master.
The Laster.
The cycle. Hang on, what's it? Oh.
I need some weird sort of like timeline family tree kind of thing here.
Yeah. Make a fancy video with like a line, a line of time, you might say.
I feel like this is a YouTube video waiting to happen. How many masters are there?
Too many masters, too many masters.
Too many lords. Too many lords.
And that is like the continuity of Too Many Cooks is about as sensible as the continuity of Doctor Who.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Good
Oh
grief.
shit, and then there's possibilities for the Unbound Master as well.
Oh, God.
Unbound Master? What the f- Is this all that just likes doing books?
Unbound Master, no, Unbound is Big Finish, that's Mark Gatiss.
Yeah,
Gatiss.
that's the alternate timeline where the Time Lords accidentally send the Third Doctor to 1997 instead of 1970 or whenever it was.
Okay. He's going to appear in this Masterful at some point, somehow, I don't know.
Okay. That was a good one, actually, that one in Unbound. And they did a sequel to it as well, which is interesting. It was a nice little alternate
They've
universe.
done quite a few. They've done quite a few sequels to it in other like. I think Bernie Summerfield had series set in the alternative timeline.
Okay. Yeah, no, I always like the little like alternate timeline things they do because obviously, what happens in that one because the Doctor only arrives in 1997. The whole thing with Day of the Daleks was resolved by UNIT detonating a nuclear warhead, and so like southeast England is just like a nuclear crater basically.
Sounds about right.
So UNIT are like,
Oh, you mean in
discredited.
Doctor Who? Right, okay. Lol.
Yeah. So straight after Delgado, the Ricky goes into the decayed body. So
Right.
must be
Mr. Is it Jeffrey Beavers or something? Beavers.
final. Yeah. Well, there was 2 actors that played the one incarnation.
Ah.
And in I think it was Beavers and Keeper of Traken, and then it was someone else in Assassin something.
Assassin's Creed.
Fourth Doctor, something with Assassin in the title.
Deadly Assassin?
It's literally him on his own. Deadly Assassin. deadly assassin was someone else, and
In
then
that-
he steals Tremus's body.
Yeah. Is the Deadly Assassin... That's a Gallifrey one, isn't it? I
Yeah,
think? Yeah.
First Doctor on his own, just on Gallifrey.
Yeah.
It was the one after he dropped off Sarah Jane.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
'Cause back
funny
in
the random
those
little
days,
things
we
like that,
couldn't
despite
take
having-
humans to time to Gallifrey.
Yeah, despite having never seen it. Anyway.
I have seen it once ages ago back in secondary.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so far what we've got then is Kyle, the Kid Master, the Teenage Master, who becomes James Dreyfus Master. Then there's another, 11 Masters in between that we don't know and have never seen or heard of.
Probably never will, unless
Maybe one of
Chibnall
them
gets
Sasha
hold of it.
Dewan.
Oh, Chibnall's the one to do it. If there's anyone who would, it would be him. Then
The Timeless
our
Child might be
13th
the Doctor, but the Master is his brother. Her brother.
Oh God, could you imagine if he tried to bring back that plot thread? It's like, because originally the Master was meant to be the Doctor's brother, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he actually brought that back? Fucking hell. They're both timeless children, but the Master
Yeah.
fell through 2 days afterwards and was found by some different Gallifreyans who weren't as nice as Tecteun. Therefore, he became bad.
I just imagine Tacteum just I don't know, picks up the Timeless Child and swings her over her shoulder or whatever, and then the Master Timeless Child was just stood behind the big monument, and he just poked his head around, hello, where have you gone?
Hello, it's time for us to go home now. Our reconnaissance mission is done.
Oh shit! So wait, when does the
What's that
big
happen now?
Master come into it? So Tremus's body. So okay, so far the timeline I've got. This Master was the 3 actors young to James Dreyfus, and big gap. Then the 13th Master of the first incarnate or the first cycle is Delgado. Comes Decade, goes through 2 actors. He steals a human becoming Tremus. That's the Master that is put on trial by the Daleks and killed.
Right.
He steals Bruce, becomes Bruce, Fabulous Master. He's thrown into the Eye of Harmony. This is what I've got to find out now. What happened between the Eye of Harmony
No.
and...
I can't imagine
because
there's a way
there is
back
a
from that, personally.
Yeah.
However,
that feels like a kind of final kind of thing, doesn't it?
But then, I guess the Time Lords then just... The next Master must be the Time War one then.
No,
So that must be the
because
one that gets
before-
what?
No, because before that point, there is the Alex McQueen Master.
The what now?
But he
Okay.
could be one of the missing ones.
Oh, okay. He hasn't popped up yet on TARDIS wiki timeline I've got. So I've just hit escaping the vortex. As the Eye of Harmony tried to break him down into pure energy, the Master managed to ride the energy into a spare room, which the Doctor's TARDIS then ejected into the time vortex to protect the Doctor.
Oh.
The Master would remain stranded in the vortex for hundreds of years, rooting for through the Doctor's possessions in search of something to help him to escape. The Master managed to capture a child of Vormagina, inspired by a VHS he found in the TARDIS spare room. He managed to do something.
VHS.
But what
He
story is
bumped
that
into
from?
River Song. He's bumped into River Song.
Oh.
Audio, the lifeboat and the death boat. This one is part of the Diary of River Song, which is series 5 of the Diary of River Song.
Okay.
Then, still in Bruce's body, there was a load of comic shit where he's bumped into Saxon, the 12th Doctor, Clara, blah 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 blah.
Sax
blah,
on,
blah.
sax off.
Where's the next audio? He eventually sent by the time he met the 8th Doctor again, I think, arrived in a future Master's TARDIS. If want to know where he dies, come on. Oh, meeting with the War Master and Missy, the Bruce Master worked with them to stop the Ravenous's alliance with
Oh.
the 11.
The ravenous bug blatter beast of Trial.
It's stuff that's going to pop up in later 8th Doctor arcs that we
Yeah.
haven't gotten to yet. I know the 11 pops up somewhere in there. That's where that comes in. 11's trapped in the... yeah. An echo in the Eye of Harmony. Mate, so somehow he... Oh, while his essence was left wandering the time vortex, an echo of the Master remained imprisoned inside the Eye of Harmony. Master commanded infinite power. Okay, blah 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 blah. Oh, that's prose. Prose. There's the regeneration.
Tell me when you die.
Why won't you die?
Apparently he regenerated in comics, but that's not the regeneration that happened in audios. I swear... maybe. However, when the Celestial Intervention Agency requested the Bruce Master, the War Master, and Missy to return to Artron's brain print, whatever, something that happened between those three, they used the technology for themselves and resurrected a corpse of the dead Master, giving him a new body and regeneration cycle in the process.
Oh.
With the new body, the Master had a new lease of life.
Oh.
So how often does the Master fuck himself over?
I swear there was like well, obviously Missy kills Sim. I swear there was some point in I read somewhere that in the Big Finish timeline that at some point one of the Masters does trick the other Master into dying so that they become them.
See, that just feels very counterintuitive.
Which is what I was looking for. Well, if you disagree to how you're doing things and think, oh, a new lease of life, I could do better. Do you think, like, looking back at yourself 15, 20 years ago, you could sort of think, me now could do a better job than you then?
Well, obviously.
Why not speed
But I
up
wouldn't
the
fuck
process?
myself
Why not
over
get
for
round
it.
to it quicker? But
then
if you're doing a bad job, why not just get round to it quicker? This isn't the way the Master
So then
thinks.
you swap with yourself from the past so that you then end up... Hang on. So your life you go from like age, say like 1 to 15, then at age 15 you get thrown 15 years into the future and you carry on living your life. But then you've also come back from age 30 to age 15, and then you live those 15 years of your life until you reach the point where your young self is brought to, and then I guess you have to kill your younger self to be your new self. This is getting very primer. Something like that, I think.
Hmm.
No,
Which
I'm
kind of
just
makes
up on
sense.
reading all
Once
this.
you've swapped, but once you've swapped, the one, hang on, you won't
My
have
brain
lived the same life
hurts.
to get you to the point where you went back to swap. So you won't have swapped, but then you will have swapped because fuck it. This is why time travel isn't possible, kids. If you're listening at home.
This is why it was outlawed.
Yeah. If you're building your time machine at home, please submit to your nearest enforcement squad.
Alright, I've given up with that. We got to the end of the first incarnation and then it gets a bit jumbled.
Alright.
A bit.
Let's just say the three future Masters resurrect the Bruce Master with a new lease of life, so then he's the Alex McQueen Master. That Master then gets sent to the Time War, becomes Derek Jacobi. Then we know what happens from there.
Yes.
I don't think I do anymore.
I do have some other Big Finish news.
Oh,
They're doing a
Bring it
new,
up.
I think it's a Sixth Doctor and Mel story, if I remember rightly, featuring the Cybermans, which is written by Russell the Davis.
oh
But
shit!
it's
Oh.
actually a fan script he wrote like back in the day.
No, well, as we
And,
all know, like fan scripts you wrote back when you were younger, that they're always going to come out well.
Actually,
Well, I presume they're
the-
polishing it up and not just transplanting the exact thing. But yeah, no, it's
Given
it's
us Big Finish, I'd hope so. If it was for TV, then fucking no.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's a story that he wrote years and years ago, and he's just like had in a box, and he found it recently, and it's going to be a Big Finish story. So good to see
Oh,
Papa
nice. Yeah, no,
Davis
I'd
at it again.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'd like to. That's one I would like to listen to. I swear there was another. He's done others for Big Finish as well.
Ah, I see.
Oh, he did Virgin New Adventures. He wrote Damaged Goods book, but that one
Okay.
was adapted into a Big Finish audio.
Right. Here we are.
I
Russell T
don't know
Davis
if we've got.
contributions.
We might have Damaged Goods.
Looks like he might have done a couple of Torchwood ones for Big Finish. No, he hasn't. Why is his name on here?
Torchwood
then?
had
What's he
Big
done?
Finish.
Oh, based on the
I remember-
format created by Russell T Davis. Right, okay, that doesn't help.
I remember there was a Torchwood audio play when they're about the Large Hadron Collider.
Oh, that was like one of the earliest Torchwood plays done. I don't even know if that was.
It was
Big
done
Finish.
before Children of Earth.
See, yeah, it was done
So
between.
it was just
series
Gwen
2
Yanto and
3.
Jack.
Yeah.
So there's two Torchwood audios that have Russell T Davis's name against them. The first one just says based on a format by Russell T Davis, and the other one, Russell T Davis is in it, playing Mr. Pugh's secretary. And then Damaged Goods is on there, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think we have Damaged Goods. I have heard of that one.
No, it's a
Well,
novel.
I'm sure you'll find a place to
adaptation, so-
purchase it at some point.
Yeah, on
No,
bigfinish.com.
but I know we had another one that was adapted from a novel, but that one was Love and War, which is technically Bernie Summerfield's first introduction to the
Yeah.
Doctor. Which was probably the reason I bought it, because I thought, all right, I want to see how Benny met the Doctor.
Benny!
This is all Gallifreyan to me, not gonna lie.
You know the GameStop thing that's going on. Have you heard about
Oh,
that?
fucking hell. Vaguely.
So basically, big like hedge funds and shit can make a load of money by looking at companies that are about to fail, and then entering into a contract where they buy the stocks, and then like immediately sort of like sell them on again and get money back. I can't remember exactly how it works, but then the end result is they basically end up getting to sell things back.
For a profit.
Yeah, exactly. So they make a profit from it basically by just sort of tanking companies. It's one of these things like you read up about the financial world and like stock markets and stuff, and you kind of think, how is this the basis for anything? But there we are. People make millions from just making companies fail. And of course, they probably fail if a load of people are doing this thing when they hope they fail, because then other investors don't want to invest in them because they think, oh, they must be about to fail. But anyway.
Yeah.
So they did that, and a load of people on the internet
Reddit.
decided to then just buy a ton of shares in GameStop to drive the value up to fuck over these people, basically, which they've managed to do. The price at the start of the year was about like it's 80 times. It's 80 times what it was worth last year, the price at the moment. So these hedge funds were set to lose billions. And one of
They
the
have?
yeah, because one of the apps that was enabling people to buy all these stocks and shares banned people from buying them, which was pretty fucking shady. But now they've allowed them to do it again, and the price has shot up again. And I think today was the deadline when a lot of these agreements ran out, and they'd have to buy back the shares. That's it. They buy the shares, they immediately sell the shares somewhere else, But when they bought the shares originally, they enter into a contract to sell the shares back again at their current price. So if the price of the shares goes down, when you
then they
sell
can
the
sell them
shares
back for a profit.
Exactly. Because you've
But
already
if the
like
money goes
pre-sold
up,
them.
then so if you buy a share for say $10, you can sell that share on for another $10. Then if the price goes down, then you've got to pay it back at 10, but you only paid 7 for it.
No, so you buy a share you buy a share at $10, you sell, and you've agreed to pay that. You buy the share. You've agreed to.
Fuck.
Hang on.
This is why the stock market is so confusing.
The point is, you've sold it for $10. No, that's it. You make an agreement to buy it again. That's right. So you buy it for $10 and sell it on for $10. Then at the end of the agreement, say the price of the shares has gone down to $7. You buy it again at $7, but you've already sold the first one for $10. So you've made a $3 profit.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously if
it goes up to 15, then you've got to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, people on Reddit have just fucked over Wall Street at their own game.
Yeah, which is excellent. Although obviously now the Financial Conduct Authority, etc., are all kind of investigating it. But I mean, as far as I can see,
I don't see why. They're literally just doing what Wall Street do all the time.
Exactly.
It's just it's the people doing it that they've gotten annoyed at it.
They followed the rules. So I just saw this come up on the news, and I was quite pleased that it's kind of all gone exactly as everyone would have hoped, because it is literally just people playing by the rules, and if the system is so fucking weird that it allows things like this to happen, then maybe there's something wrong with the system.
It's like, we beat your own game and lost, and now you're claiming that you want to change the rules because you lost.
Yeah. So,
fucking children.
Yeah, so that'll be in Congress soon. Hooray. Congress.
They did what we did, and now we've lost money.
Yeah.
Like... Boo fuckity who.
Yeah.
Oh no, our company has been saved from bankruptcy and millionaires are losing money? Where's the downside?
Also, please do not take financial advice from us.
Oh God no. God no.
If that last painful attempt at trying to understand the stock market was anything to go by.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I do own some shares. I own some shares in the company I work for. But they've recently changed the provider where you like log in and look at your shares, and I can't find the link for it, so I don't know what my shares are doing.
Oh no. Quick, sell everything. Sell. Makes you wonder what's going to happen next. Like, what company is going to be saved from bankruptcy next?
Well, they do it. Can they do it again? It's going to make... If you're in charge of these like hedge funds and big financial institutions shorting shares to make money, I mean, you're going to have to really be careful.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a shady business that shouldn't be able to be done in the first place.
Yeah, weird that, isn't it? It's cool. Yeah, good stuff. Stick it to the man. Stick it up the man. Like Vlad the Impaler did.
Right. Have we filled enough time for the podcast yet?
Yeah, I think so.
So next week we will have a quiz.
Yeah.
Hint.
Well, and I at some point I want to, like I said, I want to write an audio for us to try and perform.
Yeah, go for it.
For the line. I was wondering, should I rewrite D squared?
Oh my God.
Sort of keep it the same, but make it a little bit more.
When did we originally do? When did we originally do D squared?
Ozzy's 14th
Over
birthday.
10 years ago. Yeah.
How many years ago?
The 14th birthday, so I'll be 29 this year.
Oh, we've missed the anniversary.
It's been over the anniversary, I think.
Yeah, we've got to wait for a round number anniversary, haven't we?
15. It's this year.
15 doesn't count.
That's round, isn't it?
No.
I'd say that's pretty
It
round.
only
What five in it?
What about
We've
25?
discussed this before.
but
The
that was
anniversaries only count
35.
if there's a zero on the end of it.
I mean, do we need to do an anniversary, or can't we just reboot it? Not everything needs Everything gets a reboot nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. It's the special anniversary reboot for the fans.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it's the anniversary of the reboot, isn't it? The 1 year since the reboot.
Do we?
What reboot?
Exactly.
Do we want to keep all the Sholokov stuff?
Yeah, that's where he's from.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote no.
But Sholokov Union. Niet.
If we do that again, I'm just going to do the Vlad voice from Magica.
Viva Vlad.
Near the vampire.
Wow, you brought the power super.
Omnivaga vi komperspatset.
Yeah, because I could work out a way of how we'd have to do. Because means Kristian would have to be your companion, Rich. You'd have to be a doctor.
Uh-huh.
And then
Oh
Alex
no,
would
I'm
have
sure
to
I can
be-
survive.
Alex would have to be my companion. Because
Okay.
if we want to keep Kristian's heel turn at the end, we can't have him as his version
Okay.
of my companion from my universe.
Yeah, that makes
Yes.
sense.
So my
Companion in my universe that you play for my doctor is a Time Lord.
spoilers for D squared, but refresh my memory. Did my character basically do like a Turlo at the end, where it turned out
was
I was
kinda-
evil
yeah.
the whole time?
Yeah, just suddenly
Spoilers for
out of
Doctor Who.
nowhere, you just turned out to be evil.
Yeah.
I don't know if we thought that deep into it. We were kind of making it up as we went along.
because
My God, were we?
because the end of the script, that was what it was, and there was nothing else there. So you're like, fuck, what do we do?
And it wasn't only
Become
that.
Russian.
Benny had to leave like an hour or two before we did.
That's right. God, they don't have that problem at the BBC, do they?
There is a shot as we're going down the stairs where you can see someone answering the front door to Jenny's dad.
Hello, Mr. Capaldi. Your mother's here.
I'm sorry, we can't finish the scene. Daniel Radcliffe's mum's come to pick him up.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man.
she's also chaperoning for the other two, so that's kind of all three of our main cast members gone from this scene.
Awkward.
There.
I mean,
Yes, I'm
I
up
think
for that
Alan
idea, though.
Rickman could do it
Yes.
all on his own, but
Yeah.
Hello, this is Alan Rickman. Please leave a message at 555. Oh dear. Yeah, but yeah, you saying?
yeah.
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 That's what we were saying.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
game
get
for
on
that.
Yeah, Game and Watch.
It'll be a lot more serious than the original version, but I'll try and
I
keep
don't
it a
think
bit
that'll be
tongue-in-cheek.
difficult.
Oh, dear. I can't even remember what happened. All I remember is the Sholokov and the Minimoto.
The Minimoto?
The
what?
The little motorbike in the background.
Oh God, yeah.
We have to have that return in some capacity.
Hang on a minute. No, Kristian was your companion originally, wasn't he?
But that's what he was saying. We have to swap it
Yeah.
because of the continuity.
We'll have to.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I want to make this in continuity with my one day future, never to happen planned series of Doctor Who with me as the Doctor. Kristian can't be from Sholokov because he's a Time Lord from Gallifrey who fought alongside me during the Time War.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
My brain hurts.
If anyone asks why I look the same as the other guy, it's because of the looms. That's always the answer. The looms.
The looms of time, where the timelines are strung.
We could have answered the
one
Morbius thing. Like, how come there were like, 6 other doctors apparently? It's because of the looms. It's all we need.
No, I
I'm gonna ask a serious
did
question
think
now.
of a.
What the fuck are the looms?
Check out this guy. I don't even know the looms.
Okay, before we get into that very long explanation,
Oh, fuck.
I did think of a workaround for my series to the Timeless Child, and it's just kind of like it
Yeah.
was a different, like, universes were converging or something. So Whitaker's Doctor is canon. Anything that happened in Chibnall's era isn't, and there's a different dimension version of that Doctor that came to our universe and went through a load
Nah.
of shit. And the Gallifrey that got destroyed is her version of Gallifrey, not our version of Gallifrey.
Yeah.
I just want to point
The
out
Time
that
Lords still exist in our continuity.
I just want to say, like, the universe is colliding or something has the same energy as somehow Palpatine returned.
It's the or, yeah,
And
you
yet-
got to have the or something.
Yeah. And yet somehow Ozzy's explanation makes more sense than Palpatine just coming back. Well done, Ozzy. You can write better than J.J. Abrams.
Jabrams.
And that's not a joke.
Anyway, Kristian, shall we begin on the Looms?
Oh, fuck me, the Looms. I
So
think we
are
can,
the Looms
we can do it,
where the
uh,
timelines come from?
Nah. That's the web of time.
Oh, God.
I think the Looms are
But
pretty.
time
quick
is not made out of
explanation.
lines, it's made out of circles. That's why clocks are round.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. The Looms, right? It's very simple. The Looms are where
God.
Time Lords are spun.
Please tell me you're fucking kidding.
No further explanation needed.
Breeding engines devised used by the great houses of Time Lords to perpetuate their race after the Great Schism.
Basically, yeah, I remember now. Time Lords can't reproduce, can they? Because of some reason or other. Somehow, Time
Because
Lords
of
cannot reproduce.
science.
Probably because of regenerations, I imagine.
It was like, I think it was like something to do with a war, and then they were cursed with like biological
That rings a bell.
disease or something that
Yeah.
stopped like what. They were at war. Was it like whilst they were at
Not
war
a
with
Chibnall
the great
disease.
vampires and stuff?
Yeah, before the web of
War
time.
in Heaven. During the War in
That's the
Heaven,
one.
Wow, your mate, bro, it's super.
basically one of their enemies during the War of Heaven, a bit pissed off that they lost, so they infected the Time Lord biology with like a disease that stopped them being able to breed. So Time Lords had to make looms.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it would actually it would work better now than it did when that book came out because we have 3D printing now. So it's like the Time Lords
Yeah.
are 3D printing their children.
It's
You know,
basically.
is like cloning
Oh
and shit
my
like
god!
that.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
What?
Heaven
What?
sent. Heaven sent or Hellbent? What one came first? What one was the good one?
Can't
Was
remember.
that a loom that Capaldi kept reviving from?
Hell bent.
Oh my god! It was new canon.
Oh my god.
The Looms.
The loom just keep on throwing him out every time.
I'm a little bit obsessed with the Looms. I didn't even notice.
Oh.
Oh, I love it. That's definitely yes.
The looms are where new Time Lords are spun.
Yeah. So
I didn't know it was possible for something to confuse and piss me off at the same time.
I
Then
did.
one- The Doctor was there was like the Doctor's got a whole involvement with the looms as well.
Yeah, I don't know the
With
in-depth
Other and
shenanigans. Yeah, so basically,
Absalom.
the idea is that the Doctor had a previous life before he was the Doctor, originally, like the first Doctor, and that's where like all these extra faces, the Morbius faces, come from. Is that it was like the same person, but like kind of respun, I think, remade, reborn.
I think the idea was that he was one of the three. There was Omega, Rastalon, and the other.
And the Doctor was the other.
The Doctor was the other. He got into a bit of a row with Rassilon, and they were trying to kill him or something. So in order to stop himself being wiped from existence completely, he threw himself into a loom and rewrote himself as a completely different Time Lord.
Ah,
It was the Doctor.
okay.
Something along those lines.
I just love the image of someone throwing themselves. I just think that's I'm obsessed. Threw myself into the loom.
See, now I'm just imagining like one of the old like clickety clack wheel looms as a 3D printer.
I always imagine just like a big sort of like factory from Victorian times with like a ton of like big industrial looms spinning string, and he just jumps into it and just gets like spaghettied like he's gone into a black hole. Oh shit!
That's what the dun is in the theme tune. It's the strings being plucked at.
It is, yeah. It wasn't from a piano at all. It was from the looms.
Yeah. The looms of time. We did it. We solved Doctor Who.
Maybe one day, the three of us, maybe four if we can convince t'other one to. But we should all have like a group sit down audio over the lines reaction to an audio book or something.
Oh.
Got to try and.
Let's
We
read
got to try and
Lungbarrow.
convert the. Oh, I mean, if we can find either a digital copy that we can share among us.
Of which one?
Lungbarrow.
What's Lungbarrow?
Check out this guy. Doesn't even know Lungbarrow.
Oh, I guess.
It's probably for the
no,
best,
maybe.
Rich.
Oh, or okay. At the worst,
I'm
might
sorry,
have
just
to buy
explain.
Lungbarrow. Okay.
It's the
no,
Doctor's ancestral home. It's called Lungbarrow.
I'm sorry.
Wasn't it?
fucking What?
Wasn't it? It was the story that was going to be where Ghostlight was, but they decided they thought the Looms thing was a
Yes.
bit too fucking wacky, so they replaced it with the perfectly
Yes.
sane Ghostlight. And yeah, and then Lungbarrow became a novel. Just became one. No one knows how. Oh Jesus! It's on eBay for 200 quid.
Oh Jesus.
Not buying that.
I mean, I'm looking on. Is there like a Kindle edition? Maybe?
Okay, I can see the cover.
That's right. I think I found a PDF.
Oh, okay, you've just found a P3F.
3DF.
3DF. Okay. Maybe whenever we've got like gaps in podcasts and we don't know what to do, we should try dramatic readings. Lungbarrow.
Oh
and
my God.
We can all pass the voices around between us and stuff.
That actually sounds kind of fun.
All right, I've downloaded Lungbarrow. I mean, I bought the 200 quid copy of the Lungbarrow book, and I've just scanned it now and put it onto my desktop.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we are. Anyway, we should probably leave it there.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Always fall down another rabbit hole.
Watching, everyone. Remember the looms. The looms, the never-ending looms. And yeah, thanks for listening. Don't forget. Loom. You too can throw yourself upon the looms by subscribing, supporting us on Patreon, going on YouTube and shit. Invisible Tower, Pheasant Films, TS Reactions. Chuck us a subscribe. And yeah, we will see you in the next one, where hopefully we should have a quiz to do.
Quiz. I demand quiz.
20% chance.
I do want to
Give
do
it
it
a
as well.
20% chance.
Come on, Loom Boy.
But by the time you've done yours, we'd have come up with more between us two.
Looms Master General.
By the time you finished your quiz, Alex would have made a quiz. He's not even writing one.
Oh my God.
It's going to be a really
offense,
tightly
Alex.
edited
The
YouTube
joke
video
is because
quiz.
you're not. Oh God. Yeah, it's going to be a TikTok quiz.
Now,
Dear
what
me.
follows on from this phrase? Tick.
Tack.
Tic
Oh, I'm
tac.
sorry, it was talk.
What precedes talk?
Tickety.
Oh. Tickety tock, the beat don't stock.
Stop.
Clock.
Tickety tock, I'm a motherfucking clock.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm telling the time, it's my reason to be. You can find out what time of day it is from me. As my hands go around, yes, I think you'll find that I hold the secrets of time within my mind. If you open up a clock, you'll have power over time. That wasn't part of the song, but it does make a rhyme.
Time is a tool you can wear on your wrist.
Time's a
Or
tool you
hang
can
it
put on the
on the
wall or
wall.
wear it on your wrist.
Ah, fuck.
And on that bombshell, go away.
This whole thing is sounding like Dr. Zeus, and my god, is it making my bowels loose.
Oh, just how I like them.